So one of the things that's happened over the last couple of years is that a lot more people have embraced nerd culture. So in the West, nerd culture was always frowned upon. It was always looked down upon as wasting your time or anything along those lines. And it's all because of stuff like Star Wars, Star Trek, and they started like associating cartoons with kids. Like it's been a whole stereotype for years. And it's only recently that things have changed. Now, when I say recently, I say the global community as a whole, including the West, has accepted nerd culture because they've realized economically how much money could be made in nerd culture based on merchandise, toys, comics, TV shows, all of it. And it all pretty much stems back to Naruto, in a sense. And ever since Naruto was on TV, because that's when the explosion of nerd culture really came about, ever since that happened, things have become a lot more accepting. Now, because of the deep dive into nerd culture and a deep respect for nerd culture, deep disrespect, a lot of nerd culture has disappeared. And it's because when companies would make like cartoons or comic books or whatever, they didn't make any effort to preserve their stuff. So their stuff would just disappear into the wind. And this led to a lot of dead IPs. Like, for example, we got Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. If you look at Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, you can find, a couple of the movies, right? Well, you can't find the cartoon. The cartoon was actually made by Fox. Yeah, that Fox. And they made no attempt to preserve the original product. So you can't find the cartoon on any form of media. So you can find like some episodes on YouTube, for example, but a good chunk of them are missing. And you can't find it on DVD. You can't find it on VHS. They just don't exist anymore. And I'm assuming Fox destroyed the master tapes, which is what they're notorious for. Now, because of that, there has been an effort to preserve as much of the nerd media from the 80s and 90s as people can find. Because I hate to be this person, but the 80s and 90s, those two decades, is literally the golden age of American animation. Now, because of that, a lot of the stuff that's been missing, people have documented. For example, Filmation's Ghostbusters. Filmation as a company no longer exists. Their version of Ghostbusters isn't really going to ever be monopolized anymore because of the fame of the other Ghostbusters. Like, no one's really going to make an attempt to redo this, even though this was a phenomenal franchise. And same thing with this, Mutant League. Mutant League is co-owned by EA, and they used 80s rock music that's extremely famous, and this has been stuck in copyright limbo for over 30 years. And for some reason, only Canada has access to the whole show. But people have been trying to put this on DVD. It was dead media for a long time. We only had 4 recorded episodes that were on YouTube from VHS tapes. That was it. And then one day, someone found all the master tapes, and it's on YouTube in Canada now. And now we have DVD copies. And you can say the same thing about shows like Bot Masters, Dinosaurs, and of course, Ulysses 31, which is also one that was considered dead media. And it's really interesting because there's been an interesting backtrack of people trying to preserve what they can because no one realized how much money could be made from this kind of stuff. And it all really stems back down to Naruto. It's really interesting because if you look at before Naruto, like anime and all that kind of stuff, it wasn't really famous. Like it was okay. You had like Dragon Ball Z, you had Sailor Moon, you had kids watching it, but no one respected it. You went to Barnes and Nobles, you found like 3 shelves of manga. You went to Borders, you found like maybe one bookshelf. That was it. Like you couldn't find them in any specialty stores. Like GameStop sold like 3 or 4 manga. Like it was bad. It was really bad. But when Naruto came on the scene on Cartoon Network in the 2000s, a couple of things happened after that because social media was growing at the time. And what ended up happening was that women started liking nerd culture. And I don't just mean regular women. I also mean like OnlyFans women and all of that kind of stuff. And it led to this boom of popularity among common people. And common people started to like anime, they started liking manga, like all this stuff just blew up. And the industry saw it. They saw that people were really invested in this, like you could make money off of it. And then it led to this crazy moment where America was trying to regain some of the stuff we made and lost over the years. And it's good because we've scraped and gotten a lot of stuff back, and you see a lot of things that are coming back and showing up on networks like Thundercats and Transformers and all that. And for example, Toxic Crusaders making a comeback. I've seen stuff like Barnyard Commandos or Inside Walmart and all this awesome stuff. It's really awesome that they're trying to revive these IPs. But at the same time, there's so much work to be done. There's so much work. We got a bunch of shows that we don't even know. We don't even know where they're at. Like Barnyard Commandos, we have 4 episodes out of like 26. Like the rest are just gone. You have Creepy Crawlers, which was made by Mattel. That's also missing. Like no one knows where master copies are. Like we don't have anything more than what is on YouTube, and YouTube only has a few episodes. So who knows? Maybe a lot of this dead media will make a comeback. Maybe it won't, because honestly, I never would have thought Mutant League would have made a comeback because they found the tapes. Same thing with Stone Protectors. They found the tapes in Europe for Stone Protectors in like an Eastern European country. So who knows? Maybe this stuff will come back. Maybe it won't. It's just really interesting to see that Naruto is what brought all of this into the limelight. Well, in OnlyFans. Naruto and porn. Saved everything. So, because of that, corporate companies realize that they are sitting on gold mines, and hopefully we'll see more of it. Because, honestly, more people should experience this stuff. Some of this stuff is amazing. It's really amazing, and I really feel like a lot more people should know that this was made by the same guy that made the 1989 Batman movie. This is how he broke out in Hollywood. So, fun facts. Peace.